In this Resolve 15 video, I'm going to show you 5 quick tips that will help you maybe be a little more efficient in your usage of the software and also help you with some issues you might have in future projects. The first quick tip is if you're in the project manager, you could actually hold down the control key and the comma key and that'll bring up your preferences. And you can go in here before you even get into any kind of a project and make sure that your preferences are set correct or change anything. And you could also use the same shortcut, control and the comma, to pull this up at any point in the program, but it's definitely handy when you're first just in the project manager before you get into one of your projects, so you can get into your preferences. So that was the first tip. In the second quick tip for Resolve 15, I'll show you how to create high visibility power windows, which are basically, if you go into the color page here and you have your power window, and if your background happens to be fairly light or even white, this color scheme for the power window might be hard to see. It might be hard to place it correctly and get it to be just where you want it to be. So there's actually one of the preferences. So you can go into Davinci, go up to the Davinci Resolve menu here, hit preferences, or just hit the control and the comma key, and you go to user. It's under color, and there's a checkbox right here. It says high visibility power window outlines. So you click on that and click save, and that changes the color scheme. So you got green, yellow, and blue, which will show up a little better on a white background or a light colored background. So it'll make it a little easier to use the power window in that situation. So that was the second quick tip for Resolve 15. This third quick tip for Resolve 15 might be pretty straightforward, and a lot of people probably already know how to use it, but I know some people just come over here into the transform section of the inspector to move their video clips around, or if you want to zoom in, or if you want to change the position. But you could also, if you're a little more visual and you want to do it more within the viewer itself, you just have to come over here and enable the transform widget. And here, if you then zoom out with the mouse wheel, you can now, if you want, you can move it around, which you can see in the transform, that's changing the position. And then by grabbing one of the handles and dragging it, that'll change the zoom. And if you have it locked, it'll stay and do it in proportion. You can also then unlock it, and then you could just zoom out in the horizontal or the vertical, or keep it locked together, and that way it'll zoom the same amount both ways in proportion. But that's the third quick tip on how to use the transform widget here in the viewer to perform your zoom and position operations. This fourth quick tip for Resolve 15 has to do with power bins, which are basically bins. You can create smart bins, you can create bins under the master here if you want to work for organization. But one nice thing about power bins is they offer you organization, but they're also persistent between projects. So even when you start a new project, anything you put in a power bin will be there if you open up a new project or switch to any of the other projects, and all the assets in here are available to any of your projects. But you might notice that you don't even see the power bins when you open your Resolve, because the settings might have changed and you might not have them enabled. So to enable the viewing of your power bins, you come up to the view menu, go down to the bottom, and you'll see that one of these is show power bins. So if you uncheck that, then you won't have the power bins listed. You'll just have your normal master and whatever bins you created there for your project. But if you want to have the power bins available, come up to view, come back down and click on show power bins, and then they'll be available, and then you can add ones and again have those assets be available between projects. So that was the fourth quick tip for Resolve 15. Okay, this fifth tip for Resolve 15 is on how to quickly change your track order on your timeline. Now you can drag and drop and move it up a track, move one, say the second video track down, and then move them back and forth that way. But a quick way to do it is if you want to take the first track and move it above video 2 here, just right click on the track, and click move track up, and that will swap them. And you can also do that with audio. You can move a track up or move it down. That's a quick way to do it without having to try to do it with the mouse and maybe overlaying one track over another and ruining your edit. So that was the 5th quick tip for Resolve 15. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I thank you for watching.